So I'm getting ready to start doing videos where I'm gonna do one on Adx Supermax. If you don't know what that is, that's where El Chapo is at. You know what I mean? El Chapo's over there, Adx Supermax. They took me down to that joint. That joint was nothing nice, man. I mean, we out here living life, but I mean, we can't forget about the brothers that's in the struggle going through it. I mean, this joint, when they took me to it, they drove me on a big ass bus, handcuffed and shackled, and they drove me around a big ass circle that went like this, and it was going down different floors underground. Took me, but felt like about 8 floors underground they took me, you know what I mean? So now when you on the ground and you come out the bus, you got about 20 big ass police with the riot gear, the helmet and all that shit on. And when you come up out that joint, they got the Billy batons and all that shit, and they whoop you, man. I mean, I ain't even gonna front. They whoop you just for coming in. Just for getting sent to the prison, you getting whooped. Could you imagine that? Just for getting sent to the prison, you getting whooped. I went there for a ride that went down. What's up, Larry Moe? That's my brother, Larry Moe, official gangster. You know what I mean? Rest in peace to Minx. Look, Larry, I've been looking for that picture, man. I got so many pictures, it's hard to find it. But, you know, with me, you, Minx, and Antonio White, you know what I mean? Big Tone. But I'm just telling them about ADX, my first time going down to ADX, man. Like I said, when you get off the bus, man, you got the goon squad out there ready to whoop you. Before ADX, they had what they call Marion. Marion, it was the Supermax joint with the most tightest prison in the federal system back then. You know what I mean? That's in Marion, Illinois. That's where they had put John Gotti at. Then they opened up Supermax, where they could put the toughest of the toughest. That's even tougher than the ones they got in there. If you can figure what I'm saying, man, yo, that joint is just crazy, man. But once you get down in ADX, they whoop you, they bring you out, they stick you in your arm with this joint called a TB test to see if you got TB. Now, let me tell you a little story. I might even put this up on my YouTube. But the next day, after they take you in there, the day before, because they took me from Lewisburg, right? Let me bring you back. They took me from Lewisburg because there was a riot in Lewisburg, you know what I mean? They had the 1-to-1 crack law ratio, and it was 100-to-1 where white people wasn't getting locked up and they had to have a gram of cocaine. You understand what I'm saying? In order to get the same amount of time that we had to have 100 grams of cocaine for. So we got to get they have to have a big ass bag of cocaine for them to get, you know what I mean, equal time as us, where all we needed was just a crack valve. You know what I mean? And that's how they locked us up for the crack law riot. You know what I mean? If y'all got any questions about it, shoot it in. I'm reading the little comments today. I can see with my glasses on. But anyway, so they take us up in the joint, man. And they had the 1-to-1 riot ratio. And when they had that joint, I wasn't trying to hear all none of that shit. They had just killed my brother October 1st, 1994. I got sentenced September 15th, 1994. And then here it is. Now they sending me to ADX October 17th, 1994. And then next year, 1995, they had what they call the Million Man March. So they had the Million Man March, you know, where Farrakhan and everybody went up there to the Capitol in DC and all that, just like they did with them, but it was a peaceful rally where they had over 1 million black men and women came out there saying that they didn't like the things that was going on in America. And at that time, they also had O.J. Simpson was going to trial. Cause remember we talking about 1995, you know? So when we get to that, O.J. Simpson just got acquitted. They was rioting in California, you know what I mean? And then they just struck down the law to make anything, you know, to make crack and cocaine equal. Big Toots, what up? You know what I mean? To make everything equal. So they turned that down. O.J. Simpson just you know, got found not guilty. You understand what I'm saying? And you know, America was just in an uproar, the Million Man March. So when all that was going on, when they turned down the crack law riot, you know, crack law joint, you know what I mean? The prisons went up in an uproar. You know what I mean? First it started in Talladega, you know what I mean? I think that's in Alabama. That was the FCI. Then Greenville, Illinois. Y'all know what I'm talking about if y'all was in the federal system or know somebody that was there. Salute, Tina Love. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Dutch Simmons, what up? So now they got us up in the joint. So them little FCI was rioting, but the penitentiaries wasn't rioting and going on with none of that, because in the penitentiary, everybody had life. That crack law 1-to-1 wasn't gonna help. Like I had 255 kilos of crack cocaine. I was sentenced to life plus 20. years for. So that crack law 1-to-1 wasn't gonna make a difference. If they made it, equal, I still had life. But it was the point that I had to fight for the brothers. You understand what I'm saying? I had to fight for the cause. Because sometimes you gotta fight for the cause. Somebody gotta be the sacrificial lamb. And I was a young wolf at the time. So of course I was fighting. You know what I mean? So, they tried to say I started it, but it was a big riot in Lewisburg. You know what I mean? Big crack law riot. The joint came off, but it wasn't for the crack law. It was because the police was starting. Janet Reno said lock down every prison in America, in the federal system. So could you imagine them locking every door on every prison in America? I mean, that joint was crazy. So once they did that, everybody just went crazy. You understand what I'm saying? So now we go to the kitchen and, because they got us in the joint. When we go into the kitchen, they got the goon squad dudes I told you about when they set me up to ADX with the riot gear. They look like little Ninja Turtles, and they got the biggest country white boys I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I'm talking about like 7 feet, 6'8", you know what I mean? 320 pounds solid. And then they put all this riot gear on them. You know what I mean? So where could you hit them on their body to hurt them? You understand what I'm saying? So when they did that now, they finally let us out. We go into the kitchen. And the crazy thing is, anybody that was in the federal system know, whenever they lock down in the federal system, in order to open it back up, they serve what they call fried chicken. Because they know everybody love their fried chicken, blacks, whites, and everybody. So it ain't just black people that like fried chicken. Money, you got it. What up, son? I'm telling them about the ADX trip that I had. So they serve fried chicken because they know if they serve fried chicken, everybody's going to come out they sell to eat. You understand what I'm saying? So they serve fried chicken. We go down to the kitchen and shit, walk down to Lewisburg. We go out the joint. We walk down towards the Red Top and we go in the kitchen. So now while we eat in the kitchen, everywhere we walk, you got these big ass Ninja Turtle. That's what we call them. These big ass Ninja Turtle niggas. They call them the goon squad. You know what I mean? So when you act up in the cell, they send these niggas in with all this riot gear. I'm going to do a video where I'm going to show you some footage of it and all that so you understand. You know what I mean? Or I might just show some live footage around this so you understand. But these are some big ass white boys, man. Could you imagine Ninja Turtles running up on you in a little 4x7 cell? You know what I mean? Like, you ain't got nothing on but your drawers and a t-shirt, if that. And you trying to fight these big ass white boys coming in there, and they got the shields and all that. So I mean, don't think nothing was glamorous about prison, man. So I mean, let's get that right. Nigga ain't bragging about nothing, but when we come out the joint, they got one of them come out the kitchen. They trying to search us now to make sure ain't nobody sneaking chicken back to the mess hall. Cause you go in the kitchen, you buy your chicken for your stamps and all that. You go in the kitchen, so they want to make sure nobody taking nothing. So they searching niggas. So one of the homies stopped and he was faking like he had some chicken and he just started running. So when he started running, the police chasing him. So while the police chasing him down the hallway, he running full speed from the Red Top all the way back to the unit. So when he get in the unit, they got police there waiting for him. They block him in. So when they block him in, they tell him, give me what you got. Give me what you got. And he got his hand in his jacket like if he got some chicken he was holding on to when he was running. So when he go down there, the police now, he pulls his hand out and he show him he ain't got nothing. He was just faking. A young nigga, you know what I mean? Like I said, they putting young niggas now in the penitentiary giving us life sentences. I'm talking about the kid was 18 years old at the time. I was 29 years old. But anyway, the kid pulls his hand out like he got some chicken. He ain't had nothing on him. You understand what I'm saying? So now they pissed off. So now they wanted to take him to the hole for making him run. The hole is the SHU special housing unit. They wanted to lock the homie up for making him run. I told him, nah, my nigga, we ain't gonna do that. We ain't taking my homie no way. You know what I mean? Not with all you big ass white boys with this Ninja Turtle shit on. You know what I mean? So he's sitting there. And they called the other police. At this time, Lewisburg, if anybody was in Lewisburg in the early 90s, we ain't talking about 2000, you know what I mean, 5, when they turned it into the little smooth program. I'm talking about when it was wide open. I'm talking about, I'm going to give you a couple of names that was there. We had Freddy Meyers up in there, Fat Stevie, Pete Monsanto, you know what I mean? We had Miles, you understand? Boy George, you understand what I'm saying? I mean, they put the worst of the word. My man Doo-Wop, you know what I mean, from Harlem, you know what I mean? Big L from the Bronx, big shout out to Big L, butt naked, finest, you know what I mean? They do what they do. But, these are the men they got in here. You understand what I'm saying? Then they had Big C from the Supreme Team. That's Harry Hunt. That's another story I'm going to tell you about later. Big C got killed in Beaumont, you know what I mean, on Christmas Eve. But, it was a rough ride, man. So that's why I don't want the youth to think that none of this is to glamorize nothing or none of that. You know what I mean? Ain't the guards worried about inmates know where their house are. Nah, they ain't worrying about none of that because the jails is in the middle of nowhere. So the guards ain't worrying about you knowing where they at. When they come in that joint, you in their neighborhood, man. You in their town. You know what I mean? So if y'all got any questions, shoot the questions so you know I like that question. But nah, they wasn't worrying about that. And the crazy part is back then, you know, they was only put, and they still doing it, but they was only putting the prisons in the white neighborhoods, the racist white neighborhoods. You know what I mean? Like up there where Lewisburg is at, it's the Amish County, you know, where they still stuck in the 1700s, where they riding horse and buggy and all of that shit. You know what I mean? And, you know, with the polygamy where a dude married to 10 different women and things like that, married to 3 sisters and bringing another wife with 4 sisters. That's the Amish County. You know what I mean? Then they had all the racist white boys. So back then, you know, then you had the skinhead white boys, which is the radical white boys from the neighborhood. And these are the ones that they was giving jobs in the prison. You understand what I'm saying? So at that time, it was the white boys bringing in the drugs for the white boys. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't the blacks running the drugs. We had to get the visit through. We had to get the drugs through the visit, or sneak it in through the Chapo mail, and you know, different things we had to do to get the drugs in. But you know, where there's a will, there's a way. When a nigga trying to get money, gonna get money. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Trinidad, Trinidad, Rod. That was their source of income. You know what I mean? Because remember, these Amish people, they don't believe in nothing modern. So like they still selling coal. They got coal mines. You know how you be seeing people getting stuck in coal mines down there in Pennsylvania. That's where the jail is at. So nobody buys coal no more because all the prisons is ran by gas and electric. I mean, a heating system is ran by gas and electric. So the prison, they kept their coal line running heating system. So they bought all the heat. They bought all they bought the coal from these locals, so that's why they wanted the jail there, because it built up their economy. You know what I mean? But anyway, so we back in the joint. So let's go back to my man. My man, you know, was faking. He ain't had nothing. We all stood up. We wouldn't let him take him out, so they let us leave. They came back about 4 o'clock. Next thing you know, they let us go down to the kitchen to go eat. Then they let us go to commissary for the first time. You know what I mean? So we go in the commissary, and you know, we coming back with our little bags, and next thing we know, we see on the news that it said Lewisburg was in a riot. Lewisburg was in an uproar. You know what I mean? You know, Dean Bootprint, what up, family? You know what I mean? So they looking at it like, you know, so they say there was a riot in Lewisburg, it was a riot in Talladega, it was a riot in Greenville, it was a riot in Lum Park, it was a riot in Terre Haute. They yelling all these riots to justify why Janet Reno did that crazy ass shit like locking all the prisons down. The penitentiaries wasn't worrying about it because nigga was in there when a million years wasn't going nowhere. So they kind of forced us in it. From Harlem, 1986, what up, fam? Make sure y'all follow the big homie, man. He been working on that mob style movie. But anyway, so we got this joint going on, man, and it was like crazy up in there, man. So they turned down the joint. We see on the news, they said we rioting. We wasn't rioting, so we knew they was up to something. We knew they was up to something. We ain't stupid. You know what I mean? I mean, so, you know, now later on that night, they come by with some bed cards, and they come and they call my name, and, you know, like 5 other brothers that be with me names, and they telling us to come to the front, and they got the goon squad there. Who trying to go up front with all, you got 30 big ass white boys all over 6'5", all over 300 pounds, solid with, you know, Ninja Turtle gear on. They telling you to come up to the front so they could put handcuffs on you, lock you up, and put you in a special housing unit. I'm not going nowhere. You got to kill me where I stand. You know what I mean? All right, Tina, you big the rock. I got you, sis. I might pop through there. I don't know yet. But, you know, so they got all these riot gear on. They come and talk about come out. So I said, nah, man. So, you know, we had to fight. So they leave because they saw we wasn't coming because we started, you know what I mean? Telling, you know, everybody started, you know, the homies was holding us down. You know what I mean? So they leave, but we know they coming back. So now we know they coming back. We took extension cords and we tied up the back doors so the police couldn't come in. You know what I mean? Make sure they couldn't come in the back door on us because we know they coming in. You know what I mean? So we had it where they could only come in the front. Back then, Lewisburg, which they still do, they ain't got no central air conditioning, so the windows open up. So we went and got the big garbage cans. We filled them up with cold water. We got blankets and towels and dipped them in the water to get them wet. So now, you know, we prepared for war. So now we take the towels, we wrap them around our face because we know they coming back with the tear gas. You know what I mean? So now they come back with the tear gas and they open the door up and they say, last chance. You know what I mean? You need to come up front. Such and such come up front. I ain't trying to call all the brothers' names unless they give me permission to say it. But they called all 6 of us by the names. You know what I mean? So when they did that, I took a fan. They had a big ass fan because they had no central air conditioning. So I took a big ass fan that they had and I tied, I took the top piece off and I took the bottom piece off where the wire go up in the pole, and then I took off the part that blow on the fan, and I put the motor part. Y'all from Lewisburg know this that I did, because they still talk about this now in the federal system. Not to brag about it, but just telling you a part of my history to let you know why they ain't worth it going to prison. And if you do go to prison, program to do what you got to do to get out, because that's how I wound up getting out. But at the beginning, this is how I was wilding. So this is how I'm trying to prevent y'all youngins from wilding it. You know, God forbid y'all wind up where I was at. But anyway, so I took the fan, took the blades off, and you know when you got the motor, I put the motor in the other end of the pole, you know what I mean? So the motor here, and they had pool tables there then and foosball, because back then when we first got to Lewisburg, that was an old white, what you call it, that was all the Italian mafia they were sending in. These motherfuckers was getting pulled in, white police to bring them in shrimp and shit like that. You know what I mean? Tight money, what up? You know, so they come in now, and I got the fan thing hooked up on it, and now it's a long pole. So I grabbed the pool balls, I plugged the fan in, I dropped the pool ball in the joint, boom. You know, I got that from when we was in Jamaica. We had a gun we called one pop, that we took one bullet and put it in a handlebars that you cut down and took like a slingshot wire, put it on, and it fired the bullet, boom, and it gave you one shot out that joint, so you can make your own one-shot gun, something like what the Chinese man did over there in China when he assassinated the Chinese dude, the Chinese president. But anyway, so I take the fan with a motor blow, real fast, you know what I mean? I had to think real fast to come up with this little gimmick though, but I did what I did. So I took the fan and we put it in the pole that holds the fan up. You know what I mean? From the ground with the little round base. You know what I mean? I put that in it. I dropped the ball in and I stuck the fan in that hole. Boom. So when the fan went in and that motor spinning, it shot the ball out. Boom. The shit went out and hit the front glass where the police was at. So now the police trying to come in, so they saw the pool ball coming and they slammed the door shut. Boom. So when they slammed the door shut, it hit the glass, but the glass got chicken wire in between it so that we can't break out. You understand what I'm saying? And get into the hallway and the rest of the prison. But the joint hit the joint, boom. So of course the ball couldn't go through the chicken wire. So now I hit another one, boom. So when we did that, now they go back, they come back, and you know, they got the what they call them, the tear gas gun. So they come back with the tear gas gun, and they open the door real quick, and they shot a big ass tear gas canister this big and this goddamn thick. You know what I mean? About this thick. They grab the joint and they shoot the tear gas in. But we was prepared for that too, because we already knew they was coming. So now when they shot the tear gas in, we had two homies, because Lewisburg and I Block, that's where we was at. So y'all remember the I Block ride if y'all was in the prison system. I know y'all heard about it. But now they we had two brothers that was assigned, you know what I mean, to the middle by the bathroom, by where we had the garbage can with the water rack. Pay attention now. So we had two assigned there, one on each side, because the hallway's real narrow, like damn near the size of the screen, where only two people could walk up and down the hallway, and then you go in these open rooms, because it wasn't built, you know what I mean, on that side of the jail that I was on. It wasn't built to lock you up individually. It locked up like 4 men in a room when the crack law started kicking in and everybody else started going in. Favo 757, what up? And everybody started going in, getting locked up, all the blacks. Then they started putting bunk beds, so the room that held 4 people now held 8 people. But we up in the joint and we chilling. So now they shoot the tear gas. So the two dudes we had assigned to the bathroom area, they had these big ass blankets. So one was on the left side of the hallway, one was on the right side. So when they shot the tear gas, like I said, it's coming from all the way up in the front. So you can see this big ass canister coming down. So when they shot it down, we pulled the blanket up, boom. So when we threw the blanket up, the tear gas canister, ooh, bam, hit the blanket, hit the ground. We grabbed one of the towels or the blankets out of the garbage can with the cold water. You know what I mean? That's what it was for. And we threw that right over the tear gas. You understand what I'm saying? You know, because the cold water smothered the, you know, the steam from the hotness of the, you know, the tear gas. And then we take that, and like I said, we had windows. So we take that and we threw it out the bathroom window. Boom. So we cheering that we got it. So the homie that was holding the joint up, you know what I mean? And we knocked down the first tear gas canister. He put it down, put down the blanket to cheer, but that motherfucker had another bullet right behind it. Boom, another big ass canister like this. So while he busy cheering because he put the blanket down, the joint hit him in his face. Boom, broke his jaw. You understand what I'm saying? Of course, we got that tear gas canister too and threw it out. So now it was on. So now they came in what they call, you know what I mean, the 4-man, the 4-team squadron. You know what I mean? They got 4 teams. You know what I mean? They got one that come in and they beat you in the head, lay you down, and another one come and they, you know, they put the handcuffs on you, and then you had another team. You know what I mean? It's the 3rd team. I say it's a 4-man team. The other team, they grab you, they pick you up, and they hand you off to the 4th team in the back, and then they take you on the thing. And now that's how they extracted the unit. I'm giving y'all real prison shit here. So now they extracted it from the unit. So that's the 4-man team. So now when they come and they march in this little hallway, and these big ass white boys, only one of them fit in the hallway. It's so big, but it's supposed to be, it's normally for 2 regular men. But they coming through and they got the shield up and they going, hut, hut, hut. And every time they say hut, they taking a step and they moving towards you. You understand what I'm saying? So now they come in and they go room to room clearing people out. So now they catch this call and I'm in the bathroom and shit. I got the hot water on the bathroom to make it steamy, equivalent to our little bootleg stick tear gas. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh yeah, we definitely made them create new procedures. That's what I'm telling you. So I'm in the bathroom, so they come in the bathroom, but they can't see nothing in the bathroom. So me and a couple of homies, we in the bathroom and shit. So now when they come in the bathroom and they come in there swinging the stick because it's all cloudy from the smoke, you know what I mean? We in there fighting, boom, boom. So we grab them, you know, I hit one police in the neck, not bragging about it, hit another police down by the groin area. So the next thing you know what I mean? They done beat me up, kicked my teeth out, beat me down with an axe handle, swole my nuts up this big, dragged me downstairs in the basement, laid me on the ground with the other brothers they extracted out of there. So now they got us down there. Could you believe that the chaplain of all person, the chaplain, man, the prison chaplain, if y'all know who Yaqub is from the Bible, you know what I mean? What they describe him as, you know what I mean? From the 5% lessons, Yaqub is Jacob in the Bible. But he looked like him. He had the bald spot like George Jefferson. He was high yellow, you know what I mean? Little skinny, frail dude. But he come down there and he asking everybody, oh, you all right? Let me say a prayer for you. You know what I mean? But as he down there saying all that about let me say a prayer for you, like, let me check your cuffs. And they didn't have handcuffs on. There was too much of us. So they had what they call flexi cuffs. So now they come and they talk about they checking the flexi cuffs. So when he go to talk about he checking, he's like, is this too tight? And you say, yeah. And he pick your arm up even more up in the air like that. Bang. So when they do that and it's behind you, they tighten up even more. But he's acting like, you know, he really cared. Wasn't no cameras down there, nothing like that. But he was just faking, you know what I mean? You know, man, I don't know what the hell was going through his mind. But, you know, they did all that. They left us down there in the basement. They took us as by the laundry, you know what I mean? So they got a ramp, you know what I mean? That go down like this. Y'all was in Lewisburg. Y'all know the ramp that go down to the laundry. So it had the ramp like that. And they had like about 300 of us lined up on this ramp. And, you know, of course, they had me in the front because I'm one of the first ones they grabbed, because after that, then they went and grabbed the dudes in the other units that what they call was troublesome niggas. You know what I mean? These was niggas that wasn't bound down to the white boys that was running the prison. You know what I mean? Ron Gutierrez, what up? You know what I mean? So now we consider the troublesome niggas. So they went and got all of them, brought them in there. I'm talking about this time we had Rayfo Edmonds in there. We had Nutt. Big shout out to True God. You know what I mean? Was in there. You know what I mean? From the Bronx, from Foster. Big shout out to Big Jamal. You know what I mean? But, you know, they were on the other side of the jail from where we was at. But they go over there and they go get them. Just because they was big niggas and, you know what I mean? And they stood for something. They didn't go for anything. So they used that for the excuse to transfer anybody and put them involved in this riot that we in, to transfer them, to clean out their jail, to try and revamp it. You know what I mean? So we all down in this joint, man. Listen, so I'm talking about they start bringing homies down from different units and they asking us what happened, but they handcuffed. Now, as we talking, they come behind us with these billy clubs and they beating us in the head, telling us shut up, keep your head on the ground and lean forward. So you got your hands behind your back, flexi cuff, then you got your feet flexi cuff. They keep telling you to bend your legs up. You got to bend your legs up that they can walk through to make sure nobody passed out, whatever, which they didn't care. You understand what I'm saying? The Rock 194, what up? So, you know, that's how that joint is. So they got us all down there on the floor and they beating us up. But I mean, they left us down there for 18 hours, man. You know what I mean? I'm talking about we was pissing and shitting on ourselves, man. Just giving it to you raw. You know what I mean? And being, like I said, it's a ramp going down there. I'm at the front of the ramp, so all this piss and shit that niggas is shitting on themselves is running down the joint through all the men. You know what I mean? This the shit that the nigga had to endure. Y'all want to know what went on for 26, so don't think because the nigga out here smiling I ain't bitter that, you know what I mean, nigga didn't go through nothing. You know what I mean? This was the beginning of the bit. At the time, I wasn't even in Lewisburg 10 months. I only been sentenced, this was October, so this was 13 months after I was sentenced. So they got me down in the basement. So all this shit running down on me and all that. So now they come down and they yelling, who's unique? Where's unique? Where's such and such? Where's such and such? And they looking out for the 9 people. You know what I mean? They looking out for the 6 of us that, you know what I mean? That was running that unit that they wanted to lock up. So they come down there and one of the homies, man, this is the first time I ever experienced snitching in Lewisburg. I mean, they was telling, don't get it fucked up, but they was telling the unit managers, the unit team on the low, they go in the office, they tell on whatever's going on, Unique in there making wine, him and his niggas staying up all night, sharpening knives, you know what I mean? They done cut the bed pole up and they got a big sword, you need to go shake their cell down, you know what I mean? You had all that, but they did that on the low. But they got me handcuffed and, flexi-cuffed, we called it back then. It was equipped to handcuff, but they plastic because it's easy to walk around with 20 of those than 20 handcuffs. So they got the joint on, they got us on the joint. So when they come up in that joint now, they yelling, who's Unique, who's Unique? So they didn't know who I was. They just know the name Unique because the niggas, like I said, that be telling, they started telling that, you know what I mean? Unique started it. It's unique in them. It's unique in them. Everything's unique in them because I was 29, so they consider that as a old head. You know what I mean? With the young niggas coming in because I could relate to all the young niggas, you know, that was in there from all over the country. Because don't forget, I'm running Mecca Audio Club 2000. When I'm in Club 2000, niggas know if a nigga want to fight in Club 2000, I tell him keep it going. Don't turn the music off. If you want to fight, we can take it to the stage, but don't stop my music. I ain't got no problem with a fist fight. I grew up getting my ass whooped and whooping ass. So I done lost plenty of fights. So I ain't saying that I ain't never lose no fight and all that. But, you know, when you fight a nigga, that become your best friend, man. When you fight a nigga, that become your best friend. Because a lot of times that's because both y'all are so similar. You understand what I'm saying? They can clash. You understand what I'm saying? And after y'all have that first fight, you know what I mean? If that ain't good enough, say, nah, nigga, I'm trying to get some more, nigga. You know what I mean? And you go back in, boom, and you might lose again. Be like, nah, nigga, we gonna fight till I win one. You know what I mean? And we fight, and you know what I mean? But after that, then we become best friends, man. That's how the streets was back then. It wasn't go get a guns, shoot across the street, innocent baby and somebody grandmother and all that. But anyway, so that's what I'm into. You know what I mean? So they got us down there, and you know, they take us up out of there, they leave us down there, and then now after 18 hours we was down there. That's what they call cruel and inhumane, because I wound up suing them, got a little $7,500 they gave me for whooping my ass in a lawsuit, me and all of us that was on the class action joint. You know what I mean? But the shit was just crazy. So they take us out, then they bring us up to a cell. This cell's supposed to hold 2 people, but they got 10 niggas in this cell. They got 2 bunk beds, and they put 10 of us in there because 200 niggas, and they had to clear out a special unit just to put us in there. You know what I mean? I mean, come on, man. You know, imagine 10 men living in a cell. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's what it is. But like I said, you know, I got the new video over at Unique Mecca Audio, man, where Big Face Gary interviewed me. And, you know, when I do interviews, I don't hold back. You know what I mean? I just give it to you raw like it is. So make sure you go check out that video. But they wound up taking us up out of there and put us up there. The next thing you know, we stayed up there for 30 days as gradually men started leaving. You know what I mean? They started transferring people. And I'm the last one to leave. So I'm wondering where they going to put me at. Because everybody else done went to Marion and the new smooth program they started in Terre Haute, Illinois and all that. And now it's just me and the 6 homies that they originally came to get. You know what I mean? And all they kept saying, nah, we got someplace real good and far for you up in the Rockies. You won't cause no trouble no more, nigga. This is how they come by my door taunting me. And I'm talking about my ribs broke, my nuts swole up this goddamn big. That's a whole nother story when I got up to Adx. But now, when they finally come get me after 30 days, they put me on a plane, they fly me all the way to what's that, Oklahoma. When I get to Oklahoma, it's an airplane that pulls right up to a goddamn big ass office building, and then the tarmac come off the office building right to the plane. So they walk the inmates from off the plane right into the office. You know what I mean? Into the office building. So when you go down in there, you walk that long ass hallway. They got these big ass boxes, and you're supposed to stand up on. They got nothing but, you know, the handcuffs and shackles, because they taking the airplane handcuffs off you to put on the Oklahoma handcuffs on you. You know what I mean? So when we go through there, it's like about 1,000 people going through there. But I noticed that me and my 6 homies, we get called first. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm thinking this ain't good. You know what I mean? Everybody else in line waiting while they smoking cigarettes, talking, but they was waiting on us troublesome niggas. Also what they call real troublesome niggas. So they bring us down in the joint, made us stand up on the box. I stand up on the box, man. Yo, true story, man. Like I said, I don't lie about nothing. Y'all ask anybody that been in the system, you know how Oklahoma is, and know about the Lewisburg prison riot, no Unique's role in it. But anyway, so we up in the joint, we get up on the box, and now they got to take those shackles off us and the handcuffs, give them back to the marshals so they can go back on the plane and go pick up some more niggas from somewhere else and bring them there. And then they put the new handcuffs and shackles on you there. So they call us down there first. When I get up on the joint, white boy tap me, he take off the first handcuff, the first shackle, you know what I mean? I'm handcuffed behind my back. in the front with the black box. He tapped me, he took up the first shackle off my right leg, off my right leg, and then when he get to the left leg, I'm still standing there, so he tapped me on the left leg. So when he tapped me on the left leg, instinctively I picked up the left leg. And can you believe this old ass white man said, "Dad, boy," and spit a wad of tobacco on the floor. Like I'm a goddamn cow or something. He tapped my feet, my hoof, and I picked it up, you know what I mean? Like a good cow. And he said, "Dad, boy." You know what I mean? It's the type of shit that a nigga gotta deal with, man. You know what I mean? But, you know, so now when he do that, I kicks at him. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not used to that racist shit. I'm not even in the prison system 18 months. I'm handcuffed and all that. I kicks at him, boom, like calling him boy and spitting and all this. Next thing you know, they beat me down again. You know what I mean? And dragged me up in the medical joint, played it off like they looking at me. And, you know, they gave me a TB shot, being out fighting the police. I get the TB shot. I stayed there the night. The next morning, they come first thing, 3 o'clock in the morning to wake me up, 3:30, right after 3 o'clock count. And they take me out there and they, you know, they fly me to Oklahoma, to Adx Supermax that I began with. So we get out there to Adx Supermax. And when we get out there, they take us off the joint, and that's where I left off at. When we come down off the bus, go through the joint, and they bring you in, they beat you, the Ninja Turtles, you go through the joint, the whole nine. So now we going in, and they talk about they want to do a TB test on me. I'm like, nah, y'all just gave me one yesterday, and y'all ain't gonna keep sticking me with shit, because I know y'all trying to medicate me in this joint. I'm not going for it. You got the wrong nigga. And they said, nah, you got the wrong white boys. You gonna do what these white boys say. I don't know what they let you do in Lewisburg, but up here in the Rockies, you know what I mean? You in the Alcatraz of the Rockies, nigga, you do as we say. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, I'm not having it. So next thing you know, they come in, they fight me, they beat me down, they hold me down, and you know what I mean? I'm fighting them like a mother because I don't want them to stick me with that needle. So next thing you know, they get my arm pinned down, and then they shot me up with the needle for TB. And from them trying to shoot me with it and not getting able to get a vein because I'm fighting, they done shot me all over my arm. I got all these red, purple marks on my shit. So now my whole arm swole up. So 2 days later, they come to my cell. And they said, let me check your TB test. You know what I mean? So I said, so I pull out my arm and I had all these swollen, you know, purple marks. So they telling me, oh, you test positive for TB. I said, man, I ain't got no damn TB. They just tested when I was in Oklahoma and it came back negative. So how you gonna tell me it's positive the next day? And they said, nah, because of this swollen mark. I said, that shit's swollen because y'all was whooping me down there to put the needle in my arm. You know what I mean? They said, okay, we're going to give you a chest x-ray to see if you got TB because, you know, being that they was whooping you this and that. And they went through all this so bull crap, man. But bottom line is the nigga ain't had no TB or none of that. But nigga just had to fight his whole way in the joint, man. But, you know, that's all I want to tell you. Just give you that quick story, man. And like I said, go over to Unique Mecca Audio. Big Face Gary from the Big Face Gary TV show. He interviewed me. Check out the video. The video is officially showing now. You know, I'm done with this. I just wanted to, you know, give y'all a little ADX reminiscent, man. You know what I mean? So if y'all got any questions, tap in before I tap out. Remember the top call, it's the Rumbler. You already know. You know what I mean? You must have known that God would bring you through it. Now, listen, man. Trinity Daddy Rob, I knew God was going to get me through it. You understand what I'm saying? When I was on the street, I was good, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, I poisoned the community for you haters that's going to yell out there, you sold drugs. Yeah, hell yeah, I poisoned the community. The government poisoned the community by flooding the community to give me access to it. And I made money to feed my family, buy my fancy cars, and do all the foolishness that I did. You understand what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, none of that was worth it. Let me say that off the top. None of that was worth it. You understand what I'm saying? I'll be back. What's up, kid? I'm trying to come down into your sister party, homie. You know what I mean? But, yeah, but none of that was worth it, man, just so you know. But, you know, I done been through hell and back, but I knew I was going to make it through it, man, because God is good. When I was on the street, I looked out for everybody, man. When I walked down the street, I got $5 grand in my pocket, let's say. By the time I go from 155th to 154th, I ain't got a dime in my pocket because I done gave everybody out there something, whatever they asked for. They knew whenever they saw Unique out there, they get their rent paid, their phone paid, they whatever paid. I'm not talking about no cell phone. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just letting you know what it is. Man, Mello, what up, son? You know what I mean? So it is what it is, you know? Yeah, but it's just crazy. I'm going to hit you when I make the move, fam. But, you know, Kitron. But, you know, that's what it is, man. I just wanted to tap in, let y'all know, you know, some of this bullshit that the nigga had to endure, man. So maybe these kids here to know don't get involved in it. And, you know, it took me about 10 years, man, to finally calm down. You know what I mean? to finally calm down and realize that you ain't getting out. They sent me up to ADX. I stayed up there for 5 years, man. For 5 years, no human contact. You know what I mean? Only come out one day an hour for 5 days of the week. The weekends you locked in. You know, it was just crazy, man. You know, I'm just giving y'all the real, man. So y'all can't say you ain't hear from a nigga that done been there. You know what I mean? You know, they had Supreme up there. They got a Chapo up there. Big shout out to what's the little homie? Pistol Pete for the Bronx. You know, Sex Money Murder. You know what I mean? You know, Wayne Perry. You know what I mean? You know, they got all the men up there, man. But it's crazy. And now they got the gang units. So I'm gonna do another joint where I'm gonna tell you about how they run the gang units up there. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying my freedom, man. But, you know, I went up there to ADX for 5 years. For 5 years now, I'm with other brothers that's been in the system because they bought a lot of them. They just opened up that joint to put us in when this crack law riot started. So they went to Marion and got the wildest niggas from out of Marion and brought them over there. You understand what I'm saying? And then they grabbed us from the crack law riot. I was there with a bunch of homies from California. You understand what I'm saying? A bunch of homies from Terre Haute, Indiana, from where the other one from? We had some from Texas. You know what I mean? These were the ones that got caught up in the crack law riot. But, you know, it got so wild when they put us in there, all types of shit jumped off, man. So, you know, it is what it is, man. So, you know, if y'all got any questions, shoot them quick because I'm about to go. But, you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Check out the new video with Unique Mecca Audio. It's the Big Face Gary interview. You know what I mean? I enjoyed it with him. You know what I mean? They got my man from Canada. You know what I mean? Hit me up, my nigga. You know, I'm getting ready to tap out. I was on here long enough, but rewatch this joint. I'm getting ready to post it. But I just wanted to give everybody a taste of what that ADX joint is, man. But ain't none of that shit break. They did anything in their possibility to try to break me, but I wasn't trying to have none of that. You know what I mean? And you're welcome for me sharing the story with you, man. But, you know, life is good, man. Life is good. Even when I was on the inside, it was good because my brother was on the outside living life, moving forward. You understand what I'm saying? So let me bring this brother in because this is my man from Canada. I'm just sharing the little joint, man. Just giving y'all a little love. Let y'all see what it's all about. There ain't nothing glamorous about that. Nigga ain't bragging about that. None of that. You know? What's up,
Unique.
family?
Assalamu alaikum, Unique. How are you, brother?
Wa alaikum salam. Rahmat to Allah. You all right?
I'm all right. Alhamdulillah, bro. Everything's all good. It's so funny, bro. I was literally just checking that video with you and who is it? Big Head, or not Big Head Gary, Fat Gary or something like that. I was just watching that on his channel, and then I seen that you're premiering it right now. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm sitting at work right now. I'm just working from home, right? Yeah. Watching this nigga Bimmy. I'm watching this Bimmy interview on Vlad right now. You know that nigga too, right? So
yeah.
I just, you know me, bro. You know what I mean? We keep it real like steak and potatoes. I love this New York, the whole, you know what I mean? Just learning about the whole history on New York and the crack era and this and that and the kingpins. I'm thankful to even know a person like you. You know, it's an honor, bro. It's an honor to know someone like you. I'll tell you that, you know, because you don't meet people like you every day. You know, we got people, phonies out here who are trying to make people, you know, look uneducated and look stupid and look, you know, like failures for going to prison and this and that. And you got people like you who stand 10 toes down, who never ever let the enemy get to them. And that's what I respect about you, because technically, a guy like you, I'm looking at you, Unique, thinking, how the fuck is this guy not broken down? How the fuck is this guy not mentally fucked? You know what I mean? After all you've been through, your brother, you know, not seeing your mom 26 years, the whole thing you told me. And I'm thinking, brother, your mind, I've never, you know, you don't meet people whose minds are that strong. You know, usually people break 26 years. Like you said in that one thing with, I seen this one video with you driving down a highway with some other guy who did like 30 years. And you were talking about, we got 60 years between the both of us. Motherfuckers can't even do 60 days.
You know what I mean?
That's real.
You
know what I mean? But I fucking love you, Unique. You know what I mean? I love your videos, bro. Keep them coming, bro. Without people like you putting out that content, what the fuck are we going to have? I'm going to be listening to people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about, you know?
But that's what it is. And that's why they hate on me, because, you know, I've been through it. If I was still in jail, they would all love me, because, you know, I'm what they call beneath me. If I was dead, they would praise me. But being that I'm alive, I'm a piece of shit, I'm a liar, I'm a fake, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm too cocky, I'm all types of things. But man, I'm just unique, man. That's all, that is what makes up unique. You know what I mean?
Bro, I love the stories, bro. I just can't believe the stories that I hear about, right? Like, bro, I'm only 31 years old, right? So I'm hearing about you talk about, you know, Club 2000 and flying these hoes in from Miami and this and that. And bro, that's like a dream to me. So I'm thinking like, bro, I ain't never been to New York, right? We're just living in Canada out here, bro. I'm working from home, making 70 G's a year. And I'm thinking, bro, we don't want to fucking work. I don't want to work for the fucking government, collecting child support for these bums. I'm saying I want to chase financial freedom. I want to live that life. We're all out here trying to eat. We're all out here trying to fucking make something of ourselves. You know what I mean?
Okay, how much you said you make a year? How much you said you make a year?
65, 70 G's a year. But
so what,
right?
okay, so what do you make a month?
4 or 5 G's a month.
Okay, well, where I just come from, they was paying dudes $17 a month was the max. You understand? And $5 a month if you didn't have a GED to work in the kitchen from 3 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock at night for $17, my nigga. And then dudes did that. But then they come out here and say they don't want to get a job at McDonald's.
That's what I'm trying to figure out is, okay, so if you went to prison, you're out here making, selling 25 keys a day, 25. Now, for you to go to prison, how did you manage that in your mind to think, you know what, I'm going to have this fucking nigga over here telling me I'm making 17 cents a day. That's a strong mind in itself to accept that. Because a lot of people would be like, what? Going from 25 keys a day to making 17 cents a motherfucking day? That's fucked.
But listen, that's what I'm telling you. I didn't take none of them jobs. I was still getting it, like I said, not bragging about it. My youthful days, I did what I did. I'm going to give you another one, put some big names in it. I was still bringing heroin in through the visiting home, still selling dope in the prison because I refused to conform for $17 a day. You know what I mean? And that's where, big shout out and nothing but love to Guy Fisher. You know what I mean? Because Guy Fisher and Underwood, big shout out to William Underwood and Guy Fisher. Those are the two brothers that first, and Big Linwood out of DC. Those are the two brothers that first tried to tell me, yo, what are you doing? They done locked you up for this shit on the outside. You come in here doing this. You're making the visiting hall tight because they can't catch you bringing the drugs in. So they got us where now we can't wear our sneakers. We can't wear our personal clothes. We can't do nothing because you're still selling drugs in the joint. That shit ain't going to get you nowhere. You need to go to school, get your DD, get your education, boom, 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 and all that, what I call back then crap. Nigga wasn't trying to hear that. Fuck, I look like go get $17 a day. A month of $5 a day. I'm gonna bring this dope in. I'm gonna get my money. I'm gonna get my grind on. That's where my mindset was at. Just keeping it 100, not to brag. You know what I mean? But Guy Fisher and William Underwood, they tried to talk to me. I didn't want to hear none of that. So, like I said before, and I keep it 100. I know them niggas didn't like me in the joint. You know what I mean? Because I'm responsible for all the drugs in the joint, and them locking the joint down and everything else. And they was just, they was older doing their bid the way I wound up getting older and then start doing my bid. But at that time, they already had 10 years in. I only had 4 or 5 years in, man. I'm selling all the dope I get my hands on. I'm smoking weed. I'm drinking homemade White Lightning. I'm trying to get a police to bring me in some vodka and some, Cristal and all that. And yeah, I knew what Cristal was then because I had all that. Like I bought Henny, all that up to Club 2000. You know what I mean? Now everybody know about Cristal because of these rap videos. I had all that up. I got pictures with me with bottles of Cristals in Club 2000. You know what I mean? Come on, man.
That's crazy, bro. It's crazy because I'm talking to a nigga who actually had I'm listening to stories about, you had Pac and Biggie. And I'm thinking, wow, bro, you're an actual legend. I'm thinking this motherfucker was actually doing these things. It was funny. I was listening to this interview with you and your friend Gangsta Lou or whatever. He's talking
that's the big homie. That's the homie. Yeah,
talking about, hey, Unique, remember when, right? And I'm just picturing it in my, right? Like, I'm just a young, dumbass 31-year-old Unique. I'm just picturing it in my mind, and I'm listening to this interview on YouTube while I'm at work. I'm just watching niggas like you and shit. And I'm listening to Gangsta Lou say, hey, Unique, remember when you had a nigga eating a girl on stage? I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was the regular.
That's fucking crazy. Like, you were doing, you were the epitome.
Larry Moe, what up? I'm going to call you when I get off, Larry. I got to talk to you about what we was talking about. But
bro, you're the epitome of a wild-ass Jamaican. Like, you're a true, listening to you talk about there's the wolves, there's the sheep, and then there's the wolves. Bro, like, the stories that I've heard you say on your channel, that's absolutely, you are a fucking crazy mother. Like, I only know this Unique. I met Unique at the age of, 50 plus, right? I fucking hit you up on the DMs and said, what up? But I'm trying to think about who the fuck you were when you were my age, 31 years old. You were probably fucked.
Listen, man. Listen, man. I'm talking about, I was robbing niggas from I was like 10, 11, 12. I got a 357 Magnum. I'm in Brooklyn with my Jamaican cousins, 'cause that's where I grew up at. I see somebody, I forgot the name, asked me if I had any shower posse stories. Hell yeah. You know what I mean? Vivian, Little Nut. You understand what I'm saying? Come on, man. Tony. You know, but Scarface Scully, you know what I mean? Chiny Montini Bob. You understand what I'm saying? I go on forever with names, my nigga, you know, Pepper, you know? But hell yeah. But I mean, but at this time, man, it was like surviving, man. New York and America was just wide open, where America didn't care nothing about black people. And they openly didn't care. You know what I mean? From us coming up bringing light, you know what I mean, to how violent a black person could get, and the extreme that they'll take if they're in financial and economic poverty and suppression, and what they would do. You know what I mean? They didn't care when we did it to each other. They cared when it started happening to them. You understand what I'm saying? You know, who that? Joe Frost said with Jimmy Face, Jimmy Ace. Yeah, you already know. And big shout out to my man. I was thinking when I saw the Jimmy up there, Fingers. You know what I mean? Fingers trying to come home. That's another one of the good yard man them, you know? But hell yeah, man. But like I said, man, New York was broken up in a bunch of violent pockets, and Harlem was just about the money. You know what I mean? So that's why Harlem became legendary, where everybody speaks about Harlem now, because Harlem was about the money, because you had two types of people back then that I saw. My words, my opinion. You don't have to agree with it, but that's how I seen it as a youth coming up. You had two type of people up there. You had the people that was, I'm talking about from the 70s when drugs first came in. You had the people that was using heroin and the people that was selling heroin. You understand what I'm saying? And, you know, the people that was using heroin, they didn't need a lot. They just needed it consistently to feed the body. You know what I mean? But then when the crack came in, now they needed to feed that addiction, because it was nothing better than throwing the actual drug in the pipe and hitting that motherfucker and getting that takeoff. You understand what I'm saying? But the heroin, you shoot it, you lay back for, you know, long as your nod lasts or whatever, and then you could kind of function until, you know, your bones start aching. But that crack just made you keep wanting it and go for it and go for it. And that's what made it what it was, man. But Harlem was made of hustlers. So you had the dope dealers that was selling, and you had the users that was content with laying on the concrete after they, you know, passed out. But then now you go to Brooklyn. Brooklyn didn't have the dope problem as bad as it was. It had more of an economical problem where everybody was just poor. You understand what I'm saying? And they had to cross the Brooklyn Bridge to really get the good prices on the drugs. Of course, you know what I mean? Big shout out to the Haitians. Let's not forget the Haitians. The Haitians was doing their thing, selling the weight in Brooklyn when I was on the street. Because me and my crew was copping from the Haitians in Brooklyn if we copped in Brooklyn. You understand what I'm saying? We didn't have the Dominicans and the Puerto Ricans like they had the Puerto Ricans on the Lower East Side, the Dominicans up in Washington Heights and all that, the Puerto Ricans in the Bronx. I tell you all about New York. You know what I mean? I'm the GOAT for real when it comes down to the history of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Okay, here my man again. Is it true the local got cleared out by the Jamaicans within a few days? Now, see what it was? Yeah, I see your question. What it was, the Jamaicans came up from Jamaica, you know, where there was no law. You do what you want. You ain't got to worry about no jail. You get locked up. You pay the police a couple whatever dollars and you moving. But when they came to New York, we just went crazy. We seen all this freedom, all this money, opportunity that we never had, that, you know, Americans was taking for granted. So when we hit the blocks, we hit the blocks with the guns blazing. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? They wasn't trying to fight back like that. Of course, you had a few people that fought back, but I mean, like KRS-One saying, man, the dreads in Brooklyn was crazy. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I mean? It wasn't no few days that nobody cleaned out. No, we definitely ain't gonna disrespect the Brooklyn Americans like that. But you know what I mean? A few of them fought back, but the Jamaicans, we was fighting hard, man, because we was coming from having no shoes on our foot. You know what I mean? To buying British Walkers and Playboys.
Damn. You know what I mean? It's crazy because you told me about how you came from Jamaica with like you were basically groomed. You basically said that your brother took you to the Irv Gates when you were like 7. So I'm thinking, wow, if Unique would have had another route in life, you could have became the president or like on Wall Street or something. You just so happened to be, you know, groomed to be like a wolf. You know what I mean?
Yo, listen, man. You know what a typical Sunday was like for me at 8, 9 years old. Sunday was the day that we went to go check our family members, and they was all living in herb gates. So we pull up at the herb gates. You know, they smoking their chalice, they cutting their weed, they making their idle food, and we just chilling. But I'm 7, 8, 9 years old, looking at this shit. You know what I mean? And just from, all right, I see you, there you go, puff, puff, pass, nigga, but I can't smoke. But, you know what I mean? You sitting there and you watching all this from 8, 9 years old. What else do you become?
Yo, that's
You
deep when you
understand what I'm
said,
saying?
yeah, that's deep when you said that, you know, because I was listening to that interview with you and Queenslip, and you said, look, you know, like you still held a little grudge with your brother for, you know, trying to, you know, bring you into that life, because if somebody truly cared about you, you know, they wouldn't have. Man, what I'm understanding is you and your brother were like this. Eh? You guys were twins.
Yeah.
Amazing, man. You know.
No, that's my other brother I'm talking about. Not my brother that was like my twin. My oldest brother, I'm saying, I ain't got nothing against him. My whole thing is, now at my age, I could admit that I poisoned the community, I did wrong, and I was a menace to society, and I take responsibility for that. You know what I mean? But my thing is, he won't take responsibility for putting me into this world like this. You understand what I'm saying? Admit that, yeah, little brother, I should have showed you something else. I shouldn't have showed you that. I shouldn't have introduced you to that. But he ain't man enough to say that, and that's what I got an issue with. You know what I mean? I can admit that as a man that I screwed up and I messed up the community. But when we do wrong, we just got to take responsibility for our wrong and keep moving. You know what I mean?
100%, man. You know what I mean? Like, when you talk, I listen, bro. You know, that's what it is. I mean, you know, that's crazy how you're bringing all that weight into the prison. I'm thinking, because, you know, my dumb ass is thinking, man, how the fuck does a nigga even get that shit in? Like, you listening to Gunna, you know, like that rapper Gunna. I think there was a fucking nurse who just got caught trying to bring in, I think, weed or some drugs to him too, right? So I'm thinking, God damn, you had the plug. And I'm thinking that, and then there was a thing where you was talking to Bootsy, and you said, he even said, he's like, bro, some nigga told you in the thing, you only got to get caught once.
Yeah. And I'm even give you his name, because that was a federal official. The SIS dude, I'm bringing heroin in every week. I got 4 or 5 niggas bringing heroin in. They watching me on the visit thinking I'm bringing it in, but I'm paying niggas to bring it in. You understand what I'm saying? So he pulled up in my cell one day. He said, look, you've been getting over for a long time here. You had over a year run. You doing good. He said, but I'm not worried about it. I'm going to let you do what you do, because all I got to do is catch you one time, and I'll give you another life sentence. You know what I mean? So I don't care about the whole year you've been bringing in drugs 100 times. All I need is one time to get your black ass. And you really never gonna see the streets again. And I see you going to the law library. So obviously you ain't made your mind up what you want yet. You know what I mean?
That's crazy how he actually knew. Like, didn't that scare you? That's crazy how you were in there, but the feds knew that you actually had that, but they couldn't pin you on it. But didn't that kind of give you a little thing like, God damn, they're fucking onto me. You know what I mean? Like, they're onto me right now, you know?
Listen, man, my whole life they've been on to me, my nigga. You know what I mean? So that was just like taking another breath and taking another step, walking around a landmine. You know what I mean? Because you know, all I did was take chances in life, man. You know, because that's the way I was raised. You know.
I just find it amazing. How you know, like, these guys who I read up about, like you and these guys. These are the guys you know, like the Guy Fishers, the King Tuts, and the Supremes, and all these niggas. You actually really know these guys. These are the niggas who I read up about. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I mean, because like I said, we all ran the streets. Big shout out. Listen, man, big shout out to my man, Lou Sims, man. Homicide Lou. You know what I mean? He kept a lot of peace in the prison. You know about Homicide Lou, right?
I know about Homicide Lou, bro. I searched up his whole story. And the thing is and Ferris and all those guys, bro. And man, they need to get you on Dog in the Yard, bro, with Pistol Pete and them. They need to put you on that. I did an
episode with him. I don't know if he put it up yet or what he's doing with it or not. But I did an episode with Dog in the Yard. But I just wanted to mention Lou Sims, you know what I mean? You know, AKA Homicide Lou, AKA Lynch Mom, because it's good brothers like that kept, you know, that kept the prison cars in order. Like he ran the New York car, the Harlem car, put it that way. So the, because we was broken down even in boroughs and name. But if anything happened, you had to go to Lou, you know what I mean? Before you could touch a nigga from New York. You know what I mean? That's the big homie, and that's the way prison is, man. Just like how we got the president or the senator for New York or the congressman for New York. You know what I mean? In each jail, you have, what they call in jail the shot callers for the cars, which is cars are considered as, geographical neighborhoods. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, Lou kept the New York car good, man. And every time somebody came across my path, right? Every time somebody came across my path coming from another jail, the first thing they asked me was, yo, Lou, Homicide Lou, Big Lou? And I'd be like, yeah. He said, man, that's my man, I'm gonna miss him, man. Yo, that's a crazy motherfucker, but he run a tight shit with you know what I mean, to keep, the New York niggas in check where they need to be. You know what I mean? But that's what it be about, man, It's about unity, and everybody have to play their position. It's messed up because we used to have a saying, and in the prison and on the streets, that everybody want to be a chief and nobody want to be an Indian. But we got to start from somewhere, my nigga. You know what I mean?
100. I just find it, it's amazing to listen to these stories about Homicide Lou and stuff, being a big homie in the joint, because I'm thinking, goddamn, like, to be a shot caller, to be the big nigga in prison,
yeah.
Like, how the fuck do you do that? Like, obviously he obviously had the respect. You know what I mean?
The ultimate respect.
That's fucked up, man. I'm thinking, like, because the thing is, you would expect, like, somebody to test him along the way, somebody to try to.
Let's get it right. They did test him, and he survived the test. You know what I mean? Four Spanish dudes or four, maybe even 5 or 6. A group of Spanish dudes ran down on him in Otisville when he was going to trial. You know what I mean? And he single-handedly handled all of them. I ain't gonna get on what gang they was in and all that, but he single-handedly handled all of them. So they already know. Then he went to Atlanta, you know what I mean? He done put in work there. He known for knocking out police. They already know don't fuck with Homicide Lou in the joint. So that's how you get your respect. So now the young
you actually had hands. Like, you actually beating motherfuckers up and everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He put in work. You know what I mean? But, every car has a shot caller, man. And, that's why I call him my big homie. Because he kept all the little homies in check. So that's the big homie. You understand what I'm saying? And you got to give him his respect and his props. You know what I mean? Like Farris, when I was in Farris in Otisville, Farris, he one of the best brothers that I met. That's his co-defendant. Farris, good dude, because, them dudes know how to think and make rational decisions instead of irrational decisions. And that's what make them who they are, and that's what make a shot caller. You understand what I'm saying? To be able to make rational decisions, not irrational decisions. You know what I mean? Only a fool get mad and just bust his gun. You know what I mean? You don't worry about a nigga like that. You know what I mean? Because you just don't get him mad, but then you can sneak up on him and you can kill him your damn self. Because he got to be mad to react. So you know what I mean? But, when you got a dude that can think rational, now that's what you call a premeditated murderer. Somebody that take time to plan it out. Might take 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years. You know what I mean? But he know what his ultimate goal is. You understand what I'm saying?
100%, bro. And you know what's crazy? Let me tell you something. I came on to Ferris and these guys because I'm really into battle rap and all that, with the New York battle rap scene and all that. I was listening to this nigga named Charlie Clips, right? He was battling. Oh, yeah. So then, come to find out, his pops was in the lynch mob, and they were freestyling about that battle rap, this and that. Come to find out, they start mentioning Ferris and, this and that, and lynch mob and Lou Sims. I kept on hearing this name, Lou Sims. I'm thinking, yo, who's this Lou Sims? Boom, start doing my Googles, right? Boom, 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 boom. Next thing you know, come to find out through the battle rap, through that, right? Because in the battle rap, they were name dropping Ferris and lynch mob and Charlie Clips Pop did this and that, doing 25 to life. So then come to find out, Lou Sims was that nigga.
He is that nigga. You know what I mean? That's what I'm telling you. He is that nigga. You know what I mean? And that's why I respect him to the fullest, because he's always been the same, man. He's always been the same. Like, In other words, he's not a brother to get mad. He's a brother to react. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I'm seeing
and
you guys on the boat.
If you feel that, you out of pocket or whatever, because everything is with communication. You understand what I'm saying?
Wow. Oh, man, I should be doing what you're doing, bro. I mean, a lot of people have stuff to talk about and, show the world what they're doing. Like seeing you and these kingpins and shit, these former kingpins on a boat. I'm thinking, bro, these are the motherfucking, like, kings out here. Nobody knows. These are the motherfuckers. Like, people are taking instructions from teachers and doctors and this and that. I'm thinking, bro, these guys will give you true wisdom. These guys will actually know what the fuck's popping. But it's sad how, the business world and the corporate world and how the educational world and the school world looks down upon the real people. Like, just say, oh, don't go to prison and this. Okay, yeah, I understand prison is bad. But what people have to understand is people make mistakes. They get the fuck out. But that doesn't mean that they're not real people, And that's what I always get from you guys. It's like, man, the realest, it's fucked up to say the realest people, some of the realest motherfuckers are sitting in jail in a box and nobody knows. And then come out and then I got to do my Googles to find out who a nigga like you is. Like I found out about you when I was listening to Queen's Flip and your interview. I just had to listen to you one time. And I was like, yo, who is this nigga? Who is this nigga? I got to know about this. Like, what the fuck? And then I started, and I'm thinking, wow. And then come to find out about your whole history and Harlem and all this. And I'm thinking, holy fuck. Like, and I'm thinking, how many uniques are there around? There's probably a lot of uniques who people don't know about.
Listen, family. That's why when I came home, I let it be known. Okay, I went on Queen's Flick. I was on that cocky shit. But I let them know then. I said, I'm not the last of us. There's a whole bunch of us because we got the men getting ready to come home. We got Lou Sims getting ready to come home. We got Farris getting ready to come home. You know what I mean? We got Guy Fisher. We got Underwood. You know what I mean? We got Ken Do. Big shout out to him. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, we got Bod Lemon. Come on, dog. I mean, we go, my nigga. But I mean, let them know that I'm not the last. There's a whole bunch of us. You know what I mean? And we just respected men. We might be elite. But we human and we're humble. You know what I mean? I talk that cocky shit because I grew up in the era of the cocky shit. You know what I mean? Where, like I said, a little, big shout out to Al B that used to supply Kevin Childs. He spoke on it in his book, Crack Era, Go Buy Crack Era. But if you ain't read Crack Era, definitely get that by Kevin Childs. He spoke on it. You got little Al B. Al B was a little dude with about 5'1", maybe even 4'11". He come in with a long trench coat, and each side of the coat is gutted out and filled up with like 100,000 on each side. And he walk in a gambling spot, and he say, "Stop the bank." You got 20 niggas around the table shooting a couple of hundred here, a couple of thousand there. You know what I mean? And this man walk in and say, "Stop the bank. Whatever it is, I'm covering everything. Roll the dice, nigga. One hit a wonder." And then the nigga roll the dice and lose. You know what I mean? And he just drop a stack on the table, pay what need to be paid, and say, "Bet back." I've seen that man. Big shout out to Al B from in the Bronx, 167 over there by Clay Ave and all that, and Webster. I seen Al B lose 100,000 and send his man back to the spot to go get another 100,000 to keep going, and let a nigga know that ain't about nothing. If that ain't cocky, you know what I mean? That's the era I grew up in. You understand? Like I said, Kevin Childs, I told that story. Kevin Childs when I got the red BMW with the burgundy interior with the red piping and the gold hammers, and they got the roof cut off that joint. And that was the flyest thing I ever seen. And that's exactly what I say. I didn't say screw that nigga and this and that. I said, man, that shit is hot. But I got to get him back. So I went out now the next year, it took me 18 months, but I built me a wide body BMW. That's the joint you see in the Paid in Full. My man Ace got one too. Big shout out to Age. You know what I mean? I wasn't the only fly nigga out there. You know what I mean? But I was definitely a trendsetter. Like we all were trendsetters. Like, the rappers watched this. Everybody watched this. We was the movie.
That's crazy, bro. What I'm always amazed about, bro, is that there was that much money in New York. Like when crack hit, there was that much. There was those many things like that. Man. Everyone's eating like that. I don't understand that. How the fuck is there that much money out there? Everybody making 50, 60,000 on a block. That's what I can't comprehend in my fucking mind. I'm thinking, how is there that much fucking work? How is there that much fucking fiends out there? You don't get that out here. You get a little bit out here. But the numbers is out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hold on. I gotta respond to that. Who that Tight Money? He talking about his pops, Nick. Nick sold me his blue 325. Talking about Nick from 127th Street. We called him Tight Money. Who this, Nick's son? I'm looking at one of the comments up there. But like I said, I know everybody, man. Nick family, everybody family, my nigga. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, big shout out to Ron Du, and you know what I mean? Of course, Big Age. I was at a party and he threw for Boogie Black the other day. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know, but Tight Money, I want to know if Tight Money is Nick's son. They said his pops had that. Or he talking about Age. You know what I mean? Or if that's Age's son. You know? But I talked to Age yesterday. But it is what it is, man. I've been here long enough. Go to Unique Mecca Audio. Check out the new video with Unique Mecca Audio, man. Big Face Gary interviewing me. This shit is bananas. Y'all like the stories. Y'all gonna love it because Gary asked some great questions. He did his research on me. You know what I mean? He didn't just pop up and just started talking. Who's your pop? He said, Tight Money said, that's your pops. Which one, Age or Nick, family? You know what I mean? Yeah, because we talking about two people. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. You know, I just do what I do. I'm trying to hold off for my man to tell me who's his pops. Or I might just DM him. You know what I mean? Tight Money. He said that that's his pop. Because both of them my brothers. I ain't seen Nick since I've been home. I was with Age the other day at Boogie Black Party. I put that video up. Oh, Nick, yo, give your pop, DM me so I can give you my number to give to your pops. That's my brother. You know what I mean? Big shout out to, you know what I mean, to Al B, used to be with him, you know, the whole nine, man. You know? So it is what it is. Norfolk, Virginia, the building. Big shout out to Norfolk. Big shout out to Kenny Speed. You know what I mean? Tom Slaughter, E.T., Kev Wink. You know what I mean? You know how it is down there, man. Rest in peace. What's the brother name? A good brother down there that got killed, man. Good brother. Eric. Big shout out. Rest in peace to Eric. You know what I mean? I mean, it is what it is, man. Yeah. Oh, Tim, your uncle? Oh, man. Yeah, you already know. Come on, I ain't gonna say where Tim at. I ain't seen none of them yet. Tell them to hit me up that I'm out here, man. I'm on here talking my shit, just killing time, trying to wake the youth up to not go down the path that we went down. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. Anything
hey, Unique, I'm gonna look up the niggas. I'm gonna look up the niggas you said Ken Do and William Underwood. I'm gonna look them up too. I don't know.
Yeah, look up Underwood, man. Look up William Underwood. Good man, man. And he doing good positive things out here. You know?
I'm looking him. Is that him right there?
Yeah, that's Underwood right there. Yeah,
he's doing life, eh?
Yeah. Oh, you do your research fast.
We do it fast, bro. We're out here. Listen, I'm on the computer all day working, bro. We get a bunch of downtime. In the meantime, I'm searching up Unique Mecca Audio and shit. You know what I mean?
All right.
But
yeah.
crazy. Hopefully he gets out, bro. Hopefully he's getting out. But he says he got life without parole, though. He's been down.
He out. He came out, and he working with he working with Cory Booker and all of that. You know what I mean?
Okay. Cory Booker, that's the guy who was on Supreme Team, right?
Huh?
Cory Booker, that's the guy who was on Supreme Team, wasn't he?
No. They talking about Cory. No, we talking about Cory Booker is a senator for New Jersey.
Oh, okay. Because I was watching this one interview on Vlad. Some nigga was on the Supreme Team, and then he became a cop. You seen that? That nigga in the blue jacket?
Nah. I don't really watch a lot of YouTube, to be honest. I've just been enjoying my freedom, man. And that's why I haven't really been putting up a lot of videos. I just enjoy my freedom, you know?
Yo,
big.
This how you know I'm a real one. As soon as I pull up my computer and I put on YouTube, the first thing that comes up is this. Boom. The recommendation on my YouTube is the Unique Mecca Audio joint. You know what I mean?
All right.
So I'm gonna check that.
You already know.
Keep that content coming, baby.
All right. Okay, I'm tapping out, y'all. You know what I mean, y'all? But definitely tell Nick to hit me up, man. You know, that's my brother. All right?
Yo, Unique. Remember I told you my girl's Jamaican? Check it out. Having some plantains.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Having a little plantain sandwich. She made me a plantain sandwich today. We got plantains.
Oh,
yeah? You know what I mean? So that's my lunch. For today.
Oh, okay. I can't pronounce your name, but gentle spirit Rona. I got you. You know what I mean? Send me some stuff to the DM so I can post it for you. You know, for your GoFundMe. Because I had a GoFundMe when I was in jail, and it's good brothers like that, you know, got me out here to be able to tell you all these stories, man. But like I said, when a man got real wisdom to give, you're going to have a lot of haters. So, you know, that's what, you know, I'm learning from the YouTube. I didn't know that because back then a nigga wouldn't dare say nothing crazy because he knew he had to see you, but they could hide on YouTube. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, Unique, I'm going to get back to work, bro. You know what I mean? Gotta make these phone calls. You know what I mean?
All right. So y'all enjoy it, man. It's a pleasure.
Hey, Unique, man, thank you so much for the conversation, bro. Every time I talk to you, bro, you make me feel so happy, bro. You know what I mean? I appreciate everything. You know what I mean?
You welcome, family. You welcome, man. That's what I'm here for.
To say, niggas better be happy that they know Unique, bald Unique. That nigga with the dreads, he was probably a crazy motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Hey, it's funny you said that. It's funny you said that, right? Big shout out to my brother Gregory Welch. You know what I mean? It's funny you said that because I ain't seen my mother for 18 years. I ain't seen her from 1993 when I got locked up until like 2012, something like that, right? 2011 or 12. It was about 18, 19 years I ain't seen my mother. And my mother said, baby, I'm telling you now, I'm not coming to see you as long as you got those dreads on your head because I don't want to remember you as that person you was. I want to know you as the man you've become today. And that's why I cut my dreads for my mom's. And she 87. My mother always told me, somebody asked earlier in the joint, they said, you knew you'll always come home. I said, yes, because my mother never let me forget it. My mother told me she used to take my picture and put it in the mirror and pray to God in the mirror with my picture in her face saying, God, please bring my baby home to me. And she always told me, I'm going to be here waiting for you when you get here. And she's still here. She's 87. I spent the day with her yesterday, the afternoon. And it was a pleasure. You know what I mean? It's the best part of life, man, to be able to see. Yo, last time I saw my mother family, she was 50-something years old. We was in the club in Miami in one of the Haitian after-hour spots in Miami, the Roman pub. You know what I mean? And next time I see her, she's 80 years old, walking with a walker, had a stroke and all of that. You understand what I'm saying? You can't imagine what it did to my mind. And my mother looked in my eyes and said, baby, I'm telling you now, I'm never coming back to look at you in this cage again. You know what I mean? So you need to do what you got to do to bring your ass home where you belong to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, it is what
Unique,
it is,
man.
man.
God bless your mom, brother. And, you know, I feel the love, especially that you have for your mom and how much she means to you, especially the fact that my girlfriend is Jamaican and I know how Jamaicans are. You know what I mean? And they're such humble, such, you know, genuine, sincere people. And just, you know, to hear what you're saying about your mom and just to think about the person she is and how loving she must be for a guy like you know, her son. You know what I mean? Like, it just melts my heart, bro. I'm thinking, you know, that's the love of a mother, right? So, you know what I mean, bro? I just love, it makes me really, you know, it makes me happy. And, you know, a lot of niggas have it these days, like, oh, you know, some, you know, especially me, right? Bro, I'm 31 years old. We don't talk to our friends about our moms and, you know, the love for our moms and this and that, right? We don't talk to our niggas about that. But I'm happy to be talking to a real man like you who can express that to me. It makes me feel so good because I love my mom like that. So, you know, I respect you so much because I feel how much love you have for your mom and how much love she must have for you. And that's beyond the Jamaican thing. That's just, you know, her heart, right? And God bless your mom, brother. You know, 87 and still, you know, going strong, you know?
You know what I mean? Yo, somebody asked me, did I know any South American kingpins, whatever they call them, hustlers and all that? My nigga, I'm gonna do a whole nother live on that, but y'all keep asking good goddamn questions.
Yeah,
do
it on the cartel,
YouTube,
bro.
man.
We want to hear about the plugs. We want to hear about the crap epidemic. The fucking, how the fuck was niggas in DC and this and that, and all these niggas, you know, Alpo and these niggas making, how are these people making that amount of money every day? How the fuck is there that much fucking work pumping into the block every day? Where the fuck is it coming from? Obviously, the stupid fucking government is probably giving it, you know what I mean? It's all a corrupt ass system.
Listen.
We want to know about that. We want to know about the kingpins. We want to know about all that shit that the 31-year-old niggas like me never fucking knew about, because we got to do our Googles to search up real niggas like you. So I want to know about, you know, how the fuck, you know, was there that much fiends? Because when there's that many fiends, there's gotta be that much police too to stop that. So
listen, man. Listen, I'm gonna give you this before I tap out to answer 2 questions. The one about the Colombian deal and all that. I know you got to do Juan Ramon Mata. You know what I mean? He was down with Escobar. You know what I mean? He was in he's in ADX. You know what he was? He probably came out by now. He did like 20 years in ADX and Marion and all that. Juan Ramon Mata is from Honduras. You know what I mean? This man was so powerful, he had a street named after him. You understand? He got cigars named after him. Put in Juan Ramon Mata. There you go.
That's it right there, B.
Yeah. Okay, I couldn't see it. Focus, you're moving the camera. Yeah, that's the man. Look him up. That man got arrested with tons, my nigga. That was my man. That was one of my friends. You understand what I'm saying? And, you know, he an old man now because he been locked up since in the 80s, since the early, mid-80s. But, you know, read up on him, my nigga. But back then, you had the, and I'm going to talk about that in another video. You had the Medellin and the Cali, cartel. And Medellin had the whole Washington Heights where I was at on lock. But then my uncle met some people from the Cali cartel that was scared to come up to Washington Heights, because if they did, there you go, that's my brother right there. Yo, that's the man right there. That's Juan Ramon Mata, good man to the heart. That man, when we was in ADX, it was like 10 of us on the range. We didn't have to spend a dime for commissary. He put money on everybody's books. That man got caught for bringing tons into the country. Tons. Now, how do you get a ton in without the government being down with it?
I seen a video of you actually mention Juan Ramon Mata because you were saying that people were like, yo, how are you moving 25 keys a day, Unique? And then you were telling some other person that was nothing. That was nothing compared to Juan Ramon Mata bringing in tons.
Yeah, and come on, man, Mario Villabona. You know what I mean? I can name names, man, but what I'm saying is that little 25 keys a day that I was selling wasn't shit compared to the people that I ran with. You know what I mean? I was a little nigga. You know what I mean? Just keeping it 100. So that's probably why I'm so humble and modest about it, even though I am cocky. Because, man, listen, nigga give me 25 a day, you know what I mean? Giving another nigga 100, you know, another nigga 200. I watched nigga give out 500 and 1,500 keys in one day, send it all over the goddamn country, man. So what the hell am I going to say that I'm the man with a lousy 25 keys a day? You know what I mean? Come on, man. You know? Big shout out to Free A5, you know what I mean? You know? But like I said, I want to end this one with a big shout out, you know what I mean? And a salute and a thank you for good brothers, you know what I mean, that always help me down, like Larry Moe, you know what I mean? Antone, rest in peace, Minx. You understand what I'm saying? You know, just to name a few names, that's my DC brothers. My man Kenny Speed, you know what I'm saying? Skeet in Virginia. And now we come to New York. You know what I mean? To Lou Sims, you know, Farris. You understand what I'm saying? I saw Peter Shue the other day at the video. I'm editing a Heaven Up in Harlem video. Peter Shue was there. Another good brother. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, man, when you got good brothers that could make rational decisions, you know what I mean? That's when you got long-lasting team, man. Because like I said, Farris, my heart. Lou Sims, my heart. Peter Shue, my heart. Kevin Childs, heart. I mean, I keep going on. And let's not forget my brother, Gangsta Lou. You mentioned Gangsta Lou. Gangsta Lou, family. You understand what I'm saying? That's family. I mean, we all family, man. It's old Harlem, and we all come together. We love each other, man, and you know, it is what it is. I ain't see Lou in a minute, but I got to go pop up on the brother because, you know, he doing his music thing with big shout out to Pretty Tone. They did a record that's, they DM'd me that I posted on the page. Big Sean Owens, what's up? That's my brother right there, too, you know? But I've been on here long enough, man. Let me tap out. What's this last one say? Gentle something. I like his comment. Salute to GMJ, John Fernandez Johnson, the innocent brother sitting up in Oden County Federal Jail, awaiting sentence August 22nd. Big shout out. We all gonna say a prayer to him, family. You know what I mean? Because I don't even wish the rat that told on me to go to jail. That's why you never heard me say nothing bad about him. Because that shit ain't about nothing, man. I mean, we all make mistakes when we're young. We just got to know how to get past it. You know what I mean? I am Trinity. Tamara, Ari, what's up, sis? I ain't hear from you in a minute. I hope you're good. But I'm getting ready to tap out, rewatch this joint, because this joint was legendary, because I don't do these too often. But you good, though, homie?
Good, bro. Unique, bro. You're the man. You're the fucking man, bro. Keep that shit coming. We want to know about all that real shit in New York with the Kingpins back in the days with the Lou Sims and how the shit was really pumping. You know what I mean?
All right. And I see you remember my brother name, Lou Sims. Nigga, never forget it. Lynch Mob. You know what I mean?
Lynch Mob.
142nd. And big shout out, you know what I mean? To my man Jerry Wu from over there, too. You know what I mean? All right. So I'm out, family.
The world needs to know about niggas like you. All right, peace, bro.
All right, peace.
Today, and I think that's why a lot of girls are doing stuff on the internet. They're escorting, they're being sex trafficked because they're meeting these guys.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I heard.
Cheers, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we can give back to the youth them, cause they the truth them, and bless up to all the root men.